stuff coming up for you this weekend. Sunday, as a matter of fact, 9 a.m., we had a best of KMJ Sunday conversation with Alex on Balakian, revisiting conversations with Mike Hamzi about the Iran war, and Kopi Soteropoulos talking about his retirement. KMJ Sunday conversation.
Wow,
is
Kopi's
sponsored by
retiring.
Gar and the Press Box. And if you're not able to join us Sunday at 9 a.m., there is a podcast version waiting for you. Anywhere you like to listen, you can search for KMJ Scott Sunday Conversation or go to kmjnow.com. Hit the podcast tab. You'll find that and all of our other fine programs for your listening pleasure. One note on if you are a podcast listener, either you're hearing this on a podcast at some point in the hopefully somewhat near future, or you're a terrestrial listener that occasionally goes back to grab something you missed. Holy smokes, rate and review those podcasts. It makes a huge difference in that recommendations algorithm. I was looking at some of my ratings and reviews, and I love you guys. Some of you guys are so kind and so nice. And then there's always like two guys that, this guy's the dumbest human being on earth. Nobody should listen to him. And I mean, they'll do like a whole page on how much they hate me, and then give me like a one-star rating. And all I can think is, you had to listen a really long time to get that mad. So thanks for listening. But if you're rating and reviewing, kindness is appreciated but not requisite. And especially if you're an Apple Podcast listener, it makes a big difference for everybody. So if you like any of our shows, even if you think I'm an idiot, do it for John and Christina, do it for Ray, do it for Alex on Balakian and the Sunday Conversation, and the rest of the KMJ team. Speaking of which, part of the KMJ team is going to join me starting at 3 o'clock. Christopher Gabriel ducking back in the studio. We're going to spend some time on some sports stuff. Yeah, that's right. We're going to talk sports. A couple of different stories. Wild stuff going on. Talking about the new manager of the San Francisco Giants. He's taken a lot of heat from folks that should probably not be doing that. We're also going to talk about the robot umpires that debuted this season, Final Four, and the Rooney Rule. There's a politician in Florida that wants to blow up the Rooney Rule. And if you don't know what that is, just take a second to Google it. It's not a super complicated concept. And this Attorney General wannabe in Florida definitely getting a lower grade than Pam Bondi's C+. So Christopher Gabriel joining me top of the hour here in the KMJ studio right now. A follow-up, something that is a step in the right direction. The Department of Justice announced yesterday a major healthcare fraud takedown all across Southern California, and this did come with arrests. First Assistant U.S. Attorney Bill Esley was joined during a press conference by the FBI, Dr. Oz, and the head of the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. They said that they received a series of search and arrest warrants throughout the region, and they were all over the place. Covina, Lakewood, Los Angeles County. 8 people arrested, more than a dozen being charged for suspected healthcare fraud, and this is one we were just talking about the other day on KMJ, hospice fraud. Esley saying these defendants recruited beneficiaries who were not terminally ill and paid them to pose as patients receiving hospice care. Medicare then paid millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, on false and fraudulent claims submitted by these fraudsters. Amongst the arrested, a Covina couple, 66-year-old psychologist Gladwin Gill and his wife, Amy Lou Gill, she's an RN, operated a fraudulent hospice business out of Glendale. Esley saying that particular hospice submitted more than $5.2 million in fraudulent claims. Medicare actually paid out over $4 million. Now, an attorney for the Gills told ABC7 Los Angeles that they denied the allegations and look forward to their always optimistic. Dr. Oz says, we're going to review every single hospice in California to make sure that they're all appropriate. We hope to do that expeditiously, and we will do it this year. During the news conference, federal authorities were questioned about a video from Governor Newsom back in January, saying that his office was reviewing in the video, Oz, who is a Turkish American, was shown standing in front of an Armenian-owned bakery in Van Nuys while alleging widespread fraud in the area. SLAE confirmed none of the defendants named on Thursday were connected to the video. Dr. Oz responded to the outcry that his accusations, which the business owner denounced as false, were discriminatory. Oz said, "I was stating the facts as they've been explained to me, and we have a lot of evidence of where the fraud is just looking at the numbers." He still did not provide any evidence about a specific business in connection to that video. He suggested that half of Los Angeles County hospice care facilities are fraudulent. I think that Dr. Oz standing in front of that particular business while making that set of claims was stupid. I think that it was culturally stupid. I think that it was professionally stupid. I think that it was medically stupid. And I think that Dr. Oz is just too arrogant of a human being to say, that was stupid, I didn't have evidence, and given the historical context of folks who came from where my grandparents came from and folks who came from where his grandparents came from, maybe that shouldn't have been my starting point if we didn't have evidence of that particular business doing something wrong. But Dr. Oz doesn't have the humility to say that because he's Dr. Oz, and all that hair gel, much like our governor, may have rotted his brain. Governor Newsom, responding to accusations that California as a state is not doing enough to address hospice fraud, said the Trump administration, home to the biggest fraudsters on Earth, is trying to blame California for issues with their federal programs, which proves positive that Gavin Newsom's brain's rotting from the hair gel, because the federal government funds the programs. The licensing and approval of hospices is the responsibility of the state of California. More on this to come. Right now, we've got more from Liz Kern of the KMJ Newsroom.
KMJ News now.
The FDA warning of issues in over 3 million bottles of eye drops. Here's KMJ's Michael Reed.
On March 31st, the FDA announced a voluntary recall of more than 3.1 million bottles of eye drops made by Pomona-based KC Pharmaceuticals. The recall is due to a lack of assurance of sterility, meaning the company cannot confirm the production process prevented harmful microbes. Affected products include artificial tears, advanced relief, redness lubricant eye drops sold at major retailers like CVS, Walgreens, Kroger, and through distributors such as Cardinal Health and McKesson. Most recalled lots expire in 2026. No contamination has been confirmed, but consumers are urged to stop using the drops immediately. Anyone experiencing eye pain, redness, or vision changes should contact a healthcare provider. Check the brand name and the lot number on your bottle. Michael Reed, KMJ News.
Fresno Park's getting ready for a holiday rush as many of us celebrate Easter. Here's ABC 30's Eliza Navarro.
Fresno Parks will soon fill with holiday family barbecues and Easter egg hunts, and city officials for everyone. The City Parks Department plans to boost staffing with about 90 extra personnel. They'll oversee maintenance and sanitation with thousands of people expected to again enjoy the holiday weekend outdoors. The staff is also asking you to be mindful of what you bring into the parks that can seem fun but end up being an environmental headache.
Confetti eggs and the silly string, those are kind of the gift that keep giving. It takes weeks and months for that stuff to really be eliminated from the parks, from the turf and so forth.
Fresno City Parks pavilions must also be reserved and paid for in advance, but the grassy areas are on a first-come, first-served basis. A reminder for your holiday planning, the regional sports complex at Jensen and West will be closed. Meanwhile, Woodward and Roding parks will open at 6 in the morning, and neighboring parks will open at 7 a.m.
And for details on Easter events across the valley, including egg hunts and other celebrations, you can click the link on our socials at KMJ Now. Wall Street closed for Good Friday. It is 2:32 on KMJ. Valley weather right now, sunny at 73 at Radio City. ABC 30's Christine Gregory has your forecast.
Happy Friday, Central Valley. We expect a really nice, comfortably warm day with highs in the mid-70s, a lot less wind, adding to the extra comfortable feel. Overnight lows tonight into Saturday will be in the low 50s, so you still may want the jacket as the sun goes down, but you won't need it much this weekend. A very warm Easter holiday is expected. High Saturday up to 85, 87 on Sunday. Some places even close to 90. Expect to start next week off warm before we trend a bit more mild, with rain chances returning midweek. For KMJ, I'm ABC 30's meteorologist Christine Gregory.
And I'm Liz Kern on KMJ at KMJNow.com or wherever you stream.
Good afternoon. Quick look at traffic here in Fresno. Some slowdowns. 180 connector to the 99 North ramp. You'll be tapping your brakes there. In Madera, 99 South. You'll be slowing down at about Olive Avenue until you hit about Avenue 12. Then it's free and clear as you go in through Fresno. 41 South at Avenue 12. You'll be slowing down there too out the light as you hit Avenue 12 if you're coming down 41. And in Fresno, we have closure 99 at the Belmont Avenue overcrossing. That's for some Caltrans utility work. I'm Gabe Navarro, and that's KMJ Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster.com. If you price custom blinds in a retail store, you know how expensive they can be. At Blindster, we do things differently. You measure at home, install yourself, and save big on custom blinds. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
Hey there, it's Randy James. You know, I spent a lot of years
Right now, with these boarded windows, we're looking at about 80 grand. It's not appearing so when you walk up and there's boards in the window. When we've replaced those boards with new windows, we end up with boards again within 1 to 2 months. So it's a very frustrating cycle, and obviously putting the glass up is not stopping.
Strip mall there behind Denny's at the northeast corner of Herndon and Blackstone, and for them this is I believe the 5th time this year the past 18 months, forgive me. getting broken into regularly. I think they're up to 2 or 3 here in 2000. If you've been through that shopping center, you know what the problem is. It's bums and junkies. And I want to make a distinction because I think that Clint Olivier, for all the grief that he took over this op-ed that he wrote, golly, 10 years ago now, he made a distinction between the homeless and vagrants. And really, I think that what he intended was criminal vagrants. Homeless is somebody who, through circumstances beyond their control, finds themselves without a stable housing situation. They might live in their cars, they might live in an RV, they might couch surf, they might be sleeping in a cardboard box in an alley somewhere. But they are people who, with a reasonable application of assistance, maybe mental health care, maybe medication, maybe job training, maybe a shower, a shave, and a couple decent nights sleep before they go to a job interview. These are folks that are going to